Hi guys, it's back to school season. So today we're gonna go through a bunch of apps for students that I think are really useful, especially for students, but obviously they could work for anyone wanting to improve their productivity or organization skills. So the first type of app I feel like a student needs to have is a to-do list, which there are a few really good ones. So I'm going to talk about my three favorites. The first one is minimalist. As you can hear in the name, this is a very minimal app. Like literally when you open it, you just have your to-dos for the day, which I think is really good because you don't get distracted by a bunch of other things. So what's really good about this app is it has a timer, so if you press a certain task like film, you have the pomodoro technique popping up, and the pomodoro technique is basically a time management for your tasks. So you're supposed to work for 25 minutes and then take a break, and it's supposed to make you more productive when working. And I feel like it's really good that it has this technique like integrated into the app. So if you're new to it or if you try it out and feel like it's something that works for you, I feel like this app is a really good choice. Started. It says put your iPhone down and go back to work. So like make sure you don't spend time doing unnecessary stuff on your iPhone when you have this timer started. To start a new task, you just swipe down and write down the task. For the next to-do app, we have Tweek. It's really minimalistic, but it still shows your weekly overview. This one's really easy, honestly. You can go through your weeks. When you're done with something, you just press the little check mark, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And for the third and last to-do app is Google Tasks. So I really like it because you have the option to like create just how many lists you want. So what I personally do is I create a list for every day of the week. One thing that is really good about this app is that you can integrate it with your Google Calendar. So the next app I want to talk about is Pomodoro To Do, which I talked about a little bit. So it's basically this time technique. This is what it looks like when you go into the app, and if you press today, you have an overview of your tasks. So every time you do something like you film, I'm actually filming right now, so let's start that one. So it will just do a little countdown for 25 minutes, and what I really like is you can switch the layout of the countdown so you can have this more aesthetically pleasing look. You can also do estimated Pomodoro times. So if you estimate a task to take like 25 minutes, it's gonna be 1 Pomodoro. So that's a really good way to kind of see if you're overloading yourself. So for example, editing is probably gonna take like 3 hours, and then filming will probably take 1 hour, and then studying maybe an hour as well. So my estimated time for today is 4 hours and 35 minutes. So if I know I have 4 hours and 35 minutes free in my day, I know I'm gonna be able to complete my tasks. But if I know I have a really busy day, maybe I should have put all this workload on myself. So moving on to the next app, we have Readwise, which is a really good app for like remembering what you've read, kind of doing like a book recap. So if you're reading a book, it could be like for school or just in your free time. In this app, you can put in pretty much any book you want, and it will give you a daily review of that book or like all your books that you put in. So either it could be like a really good book you read and you just want to have like daily reminders, like maybe quotes from the book, or it could be a book from school and you just want to keep your mind refreshed and actually remember what you read, because I feel like sometimes the books you read for school aren't always like you're reading them voluntarily. So sometimes I feel like it's really easy to forget what you read, but this app is actually a really great way to just refresh your mind a little bit. So what's really good also is you can customize how many reviews you want per day. So for the next app, we have Session. So here you can create a bunch of different activities. So for example, if you're a student, you could do all your classes. So every time you study psychology, you can start a timer. So doing that is a really great way to keep track of how much time you spend on each subject. So if your favorite subject is like psychology and you really don't like biology, naturally you will want to spend more time doing psychology instead of biology. But this app is a really great way to make sure you spend time on all your classes. And of course you can do this with anything. It doesn't even need to be school. It could be a really great way to keep track of how much time you spend watching TV. You just have to remember to actually start a timer. But if you would forget, you could actually add a session manually after. And then next we have an app called Minimal. This app is basically a note-taking app, and it's just, as it says, very minimal, and I really prefer this over notes just because I feel like it's a lot more easier to organize and it just looks very aesthetically pleasing. My favorite part of this app is all notes have a lifespan which you could control in your settings, so you could do from everything from 3 days up to forever. So this is basically how long your note will stay there until it deletes. So it will give you a notification asking you if you want to keep it. And I feel like this is a very good setting because in my normal notes on my iPhone, I keep like so many notes I've never looked at again and probably never will. So this is just a really good way to review your notes after creating them. Alright, this next app I'm sure you've heard of is called Notion, and this app you can pretty much use to plan out your whole life. They also have a bunch of pre-made templates specifically for students. So for example, they have a budget for students, reading list, course schedule. So I would really recommend going through all the templates and seeing if that would benefit you. My favorites are the course schedule. I'm actually just gonna fill it in right now for my semester, just to like have an overview of important dates, important exams, and just everything, just to have everything organized. And then I also love the reading list. I have this reading list on self-improvement, finance, and other psychology, what's supposed to be health. But I definitely recommend going through Notion on a desktop because it's just easier, but it will automatically integrate to your phone. Alright, but that was all the apps I want to show you in this video. I really hope it helped, and if you have any favorite student apps, please comment down below. I do have some more apps and I will probably find even more apps throughout the semester, so if you want a part 2, also comment. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.